Despite being road underdogs, the smallest market team in the AFC went down south and ended the Jaguar season.
You are Locked On Bills, your daily Buffalo Bills podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Bills Mafia? It's Joe Marino, author of the Herd Mentality Substack, co-host of the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast, co-host of the NFL First Read Podcast, and I'm your host of Locked On Bills. Locked On Bills is a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. I want to thank you for making Locked On Bills your first listen every day, and a big welcome and shout out to our everydayers. You know who you are. Those of you who never miss a single episode, I appreciate you all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is officially in playoff mode every game day during the NFL playoffs. FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Happy Victory Monday to you. The Buffalo Bills defeated the mighty Jacksonville Jaguars 27-24 and advance to the divisional round of the playoffs. What a win. What a win for those Buffalo Bills. Very, very satisfying. The battle-tested Bills prevail. That is one tough and resilient football team. Got a playoff win on the road against a hot team that won 13 games, including their last 8. Josh Allen delivers his first ever playoff career game-winning drive, overcame injuries, and got it done. So we'll do what we do here on these post-game episodes. We'll talk about things I liked, we'll talk about things I didn't like, and we'll talk about what's next. And when you get into things I liked, of course, we start with Josh Allen. He made it happen, right? Made it happen. The run game was not cooking, not in this one. But Josh Allen goes out there, completes 28 of 35 passes for 273 yards with a touchdown, added 2 rushing touchdowns, didn't turn over the football, was efficient, was decisive, lived to play the next down while also landing haymakers. The touchdown pass to Dalton Kincaid in the fourth quarter, the 36-yard strike to Brandon Cooks on the game-winning drive, where Devin Lloyd is coming on down, right in his face, hangs in there and delivers a strike. 2 rushing touchdowns. And ultimately, this was a bit of a defensive struggle for the first 75% of the game. It's 13-10 going into the fourth quarter. Jags score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. Jags score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence makes the mistake. Josh Allen wins. Josh Allen's the first player in NFL history to complete at least 80% of his passes and rush for multiple touchdowns in a playoff game. Also the first quarterback in NFL history to have 3 different playoff games with 2+ rushing touchdowns. Big day for 17. Big day. A lot of people were ready to bury him. A lot of people were ready to deliver a lot of criticism. Not today. Not today. Comes out on top. Plays a great football game. And willed it, right? Willed it. Battling through injuries. Takes some big shots in the game. Gets it done. How about Khalil Shakir in this game? 12 catches on 12 targets for 82 yards. And that dude in the postseason finds another gear. He's a good football player anytime. But in the postseason, there is just championship effort in that man. Came away with some huge, tough yards after catch plays, a couple catches down the field, and he was just the safety valve for Josh Allen. Delivered the second ever double-digit catch playoff game for a Bills player. The only other one to do it, Thurman Thomas, had 13 catches against the Browns in 1990. Great game from Khalil Shakir. And look, I think you would look at Khalil Shakir as the guy that had the most production. But there were so many moments for different players on the Bills when it comes to catching the football. Brandon Cooks, 3 catches on 58 targets. 3 catches for 58 yards on 5 targets. Once again, providing an available option down the field for Josh Allen with consistency. The only 2 incompletions were Josh just had a little bit too much on one throw down the right sideline. Just need a little more air on that one. And then the one that was ruled incomplete, that looked pretty close to being a catch to me. It's a nice addition to this team that's mattered down the stretch. And took them a few weeks. There's still, some inconsistency, but Brandon Cooks certainly elevates this receiver core. Keon Coleman with a big 36-yard catch that led to a touchdown. Huge play in the game. Dawson Knox, 3 catches for 30 yards on 3 targets. Had a big catch on the drive that ended in a Dalton Kincaid touchdown. Tyrell Shavers with a 14-yard catch. Of course, Dalton Kincaid with that huge touchdown down the left sideline. Gabe Davis with some tough catches. Frank Gore hauled in a catch. There were a lot of great individual moments for Bills receivers, tight ends, catching the football. Apologies for my voice. I got real excited. When Cole Bishop picked off that pass and let out quite the scream. And so I'm still working through the hoarseness from that, but certainly enjoyed my Sunday afternoon watching the Bills. One more comment here on the Bills passing offense, which obviously was the catalyst, right? They made big throws, big catches in big moments. The pass protection, I thought, did its job. Josh Allen has 35 passing attempts. He's hit 3 times, sacked once. It's a bit of a coverage sack. Took a 12-yard loss, but that was really it. I mean, I thought the pass pro did a good job, especially on the edge. You had good on good with Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown against Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. I thought the Bills won the war for sure. And then I thought Josh Allen's processing really helped the pass pro. He was very decisive in this game and didn't put unnecessary stress on the pass pro. So good blocking, good quarterbacking, and you do a pretty good job of keeping Josh Allen clean in this one. All right, we got more to do, more things to talk about offensively. Then we'll get into the defense that got it done on Sunday afternoon. So, folks, be sure to stick with me. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or jumping into player projections for the first time, trying something new can feel like a challenge, but with Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressured football matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never slows down, and Prize Picks lets you stay in control. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app that makes watching sports even more exciting. By letting you build lineups based on player projections, there's no drafts, no waiting. Just pick more or less and play your way. Getting started on Prize Picks is quick and simple. The app is easy to navigate, and it's made watching games more engaging, especially when following individual player performances. And the new early payouts feature is a game changer. If a player starts hot, you can cash out before the game ends. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can put your sports IQ to work in real time with Robinhood prediction markets. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood prediction markets changes the game. It's people moving the action. So when the momentum shifts, you can move with it. I always knew the game, but never had a dynamic way to apply that knowledge. Now I can actually take part live in a market powered by people. You're no longer just a spectator. Play by play, you decide. Trade every play with Robinhood. Now available across the United States. Download the Robinhood app now to begin. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. All right, folks, welcome back. Continuing to talk about things I liked, and let's talk a little bit more about the offense, just kind of tie a ribbon on it. 27 points scored. And maybe that's not a million points, but the mighty Jaguars over their last 8 games had only allowed 14.5 points per game. The Bills tag them for 27. The Bills get 340 total yards. Not a million yards, but the mighty Jaguars over their last 8 games prior to this one allowed on average 258 yards per game. Buffalo goes 9 of 16 on possession downs. That's 56%, including 2 for 2 on 4th downs. They score 3 touchdowns on 3 trips to the red zone. That's a 100% rate. They didn't turn the ball over, and the Jaguars had 1 tackle for loss. Efficiency, right? Efficiency the entire game. And they simultaneously made some big plays down the stretch. Now, the special teams did turn it over, but the offense did not. And so it was a very impressive performance against the mighty Jaguars. How about the defense in this game? How about them? Sean McDermott, Bobby Babich, they get it done. 2 huge takeaways. Shaq Thompson with the early interception. Great play. Cover 2, he's the pole defender. Reads the backfield, break on the ball, get a takeaway. Got the Bills 3 points. And then Cole Bishop ends it. Cole Bishop ends it. And that's why that's why my voice is weird. I was so freaking excited. I'm sure you were too. But Trey White with the tip, Cole Bishop with the pick, kneel it out on the divisional round. Good night, Jacksonville. 9 pass breakups for this defense. 9. Trevor Lawrence had, 18 to 30 in this game? So the Bills had 12 incompletions forced, or they had 12, the Jaguars threw 12 incomplete passes. The Bills had 9 pass breakups. That's crazy. That is big time competitive strain to make sure that anything they got was earned. 3 of those pass breakups to Tre'Davious White. I mean, unbelievable. Obviously, the kind of the game-winning tipped pass, but earlier drives as well, coming up with huge stops. Monumental. So you get 3 PBUs from Trey White, 1 from Shaq Thompson, 1 from Greg Rousseau, 1 from Milano, 1 from Christian Bedford, 1 from Cole Bishop, and 1 from Deion Walker. Again, Trevor Lawrence, 18 to 30, 12 incompletions, 9 of those forced by the Bills. Only 207 yards passing, and it's a hot quarterback, right? Heard all about it. Most touchdowns in the league over the last 8 games, Trevor Lawrence. Wasn't turning over the ball. Well, the old habits showed up in this game. And Trevor Lawrence and his legs, that was a big part of what's been cooking for Jacksonville. And outside of that 18-yard scramble, the Bills did a really good job of containing his legs, including that huge 4th down stop that bailed out the Ray Davis fumble. Heard all about Jacoby Myers. He had 1 catch for 12 yards on 4 targets. And he was clearly the go-to guy for this passing offense. The Bills took him away. Brenton Strange at tight end, 2 catches for 9 yards on 5 targets. Parker Washington got his, but did a good job on some of their key players, including their leading receiver. Took the ball away twice, forced a bunch of incompletions, and got a huge red zone stop. They did their job. They did their job. No question. Could the pass rush been a little bit more? Yeah, of course. Did you want more from the run defense? Of course. But the way that this defense is constructed, they're relying on some big plays, and they got them. They got the 2 big takeaways. They get a big red zone stop. Bills get a win. Some good special teams things happened for the Bills in this one. A lot of concerns about Matt Prater, right? A lot of concerns. Matthew Wright is signed to the practice squad. The Bills opt to not elevate him for this game. Lean into Matt Prater. Of course, Wishnowsky, the punter, handled the kickoff duties, but Matt Prater hits from 47. He hits from 50 and makes all 3 extra points. It's a big deal. Big deal. Scored 9 points. Scored 9 points. And that 50 was supposed to be from 45. The Bills took a delay game, and he still put it through the pipes. Battling through a quad. Love it. Mitch Wishnowsky, 3 huge punts. I mean, obviously the one was really huge. That pinned them to the 1 yard line. And, you know about Jacksonville and their kicker, Cam Little, and he can hit from 1,000,000 yards. Well, that punt from Wishnowsky made him go as far as they possibly could have to go to get into range. And obviously it ends in a missed field goal. But the other 2 punts are really good too. And I know you're probably going to say, well, they look kind of shanky to me. Remember what we talked about. Parker Washington's a really good kick returner, or really good punt returner. He had 3 punt return touchdowns and like 43 tries for his career with an average of almost 15. So you get a 42 net and a 41 net on the other 2 punts. Those are good punts when you consider it's net. There's no return yards. Parker Washington had no return yards on punts in this game. Those are effective punts. I know they were a little goofy looking, but those are great nets. And so obviously I have criticism for the kick return fumble by Ray Davis, but when it comes to actual punting and kicking, I thought the Bills did a great job. All right, we got more to do. We'll talk about things I didn't like. We'll recap my predictions and talk about what's next here on the other side of it. So, folks, be sure to stick with me. The wild card round is here, and FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. Every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action, because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Each game day, you'll see a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts so you can apply to the bets you like the most. You should open that profit boost pack first thing on game day and see what boosts you want to apply. And the boost lets you lean into your game day instincts, whether you're backing momentum, defense, quarterback play, or coaching. In fact, I used mine on Sunday. I woke up and, of course, the line had shifted in the game. The Bills went from being favorites to being underdogs. So I parlayed the Bills money line and the over on 51.5. We hit them both. So we got a Bills dub and a FanDuel dub. So check it out. It's going to make every play feel even bigger, and the boosts will make your bets feel that way too. You make your picks, then apply your profit boost to get even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL game day. All right, welcome back. We'll see if we can get through this third segment here. The voice is going. Talk about things I didn't like. We'll start with the Ray Davis fumble. Obviously, the Bills made it not count because they were able to get the turnover on downs, tackling Trevor Lawrence on 4th down, try to scramble or run for it. And the Bills got it off the field. But I know Sam Franklin was kind of involved there with some friendly fire, but you got to take care of the ball, man. Got to take care of the ball, especially on special teams. Run D was obviously very shaky. Jacksonville gets 154 rushing yards on 23 carries. Found some vulnerability there as well for the Bills' run defense, attacking the edges. They got a lot of speed at running back, and Travis Etienne and Bashal Tootin. And so they were able to work the edges. Joey Bosa got crack blocked on one play. Andre Jones got kind of reached and pinned inside on a couple more. And the Bills had some challenges handling the Jaguars' run game overall, but especially on the edges when they attack with that speed, and kind of mashed it down and then run to the edge, and they were able to get some wins. Obviously, the Bills' run offense wasn't really there. 26 rushes for 79 yards. Hoping for a little bit more. We knew the Jaguars' run defense was really good. We knew the Bills' run offense was really good too. And in the battle of good on good, the Jaguars took care of that. So this really wasn't a game for the Bills where it was about running the ball and stopping the run. It was about passing the ball and stopping the pass. I didn't like the sequence with the Brandon Cooks ruled incomplete pass. I know a lot of people think it was caught. I think there's a case for that. Just catch it clean, dude. Just catch it clean. Doesn't need to be dramatic. There's 26 yards on second down on a drive that ultimately ended in a Bills punt. But, you make that catch and you probably get at least 3 more points on the board, maybe a touchdown, and you really do engage that opportunity to double dip. Instead, you punt it and, nearly give up a field goal there. And I certainly don't like how the Bills are getting banged up right now. These injuries are piling on. Of course, Josh Allen playing through a foot injury. I'm trying to tell you it's pretty significant. Hopefully Tracy Wolfson's report about how he's going to have to manage it the rest of the way and all that. Like you heard that on Sunday morning. Maybe people will stop yelling at me for telling you that it's more significant. I have legit sources and information that I'm trying to share with you, but people want to tell me that I'm making it up or I can't believe everything I hear. Like I'm legitimately trying to share it over and over again. I don't lie to you. I promise you. He's battling through that foot, and then he hits his finger on a helmet on a throw. His knee gets twisted up on the first touchdown run. And the guy's just getting banged up. That start streak is remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. Gabe Davis looks like a significant injury. Same knee that he's been working back from. Look bad. Carted off. I'm sure a season's over, and you feel for the guy. Been trying to get healthy, battling back. And now he's entering another free agency period where he's going to be hurt. That's very unfortunate. You've got Jordan Poyer, hamstring, the same hamstring that he's been dealing with. That's not great. And, of course, Jordan Hancock goes out there and he struggles. Struggles big time. Gave up like 4 big catches, two of them on third downs. And then he comes downhill and completely whiffs on the Travis Etienne touchdown pass. He's rough. Been talking about it recently. He's kind of been phased out of the defense, and you understand why. He's young, but he makes a ton of mistakes. I'm not really sure why Cam Lewis wasn't playing over him. I'm sure it had something to do with them wanting to preserve their dime defense. But at some point, you gotta abandon that because Hancock was killing them. So that's something they're gonna have to figure out this week. Maybe DeMar Hamlin coming back is gonna matter. I don't know. I don't feel good about Poyer. He's missed a few games with a hamstring and, couldn't finish this one with a hamstring. Meanwhile, you got Ty Johnson's in a walking boot before the game. And then before this week, Josh Palmer and Jordan Phillips are put on injured reserve. Feels like those are players you like to have right now. And then, of course, whatever's going on with Maxwell Harrison, whatever his timeline is. Obviously, Trey White's balling out there. Christian Benford's balling out there, but you still want to have Max available. So this team just feels like it's getting banged up. Want them to be healthy. Give ourselves our best chance. Let's recap my predictions real quick. I missed my first 3, got my last 2. So my first one that I missed was I predicted that James Cook would be the first back to get 75 rushing yards on Jacksonville. That didn't happen. He got 46 yards. I predicted that Dalton Kincaid would lead the Bills in receiving for the first time since week 9. That didn't happen. He was 5th on the team in receiving. Didn't expect that. Now, of course, things cranked up in the fourth quarter to him and Dawson Knox, but certainly thought that Kincaid and Knox would be more featured throughout this game. This was a big whiff. I predicted that Khalil Shakir would have under 6 catches for the first time in 4 Bills playoff games. He had 12. You're welcome. I obviously willed that one right. What a whiff. I got this next one right. I said Bosa, I did it again. Bosa and Rousseau, that their sacks, tackles for loss, pass breakups, fumble recoveries, and forced fumbles would be more than Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines Allen for the Jaguars. I got that right. It was 4-2, and all 4 were Rousseau's. He had a sack, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass breakup. So great job by Greg Rousseau showing up in this one. I predicted a Bills win, and they got it. What's next for the Bills? Well, they'll play. It depends on what happens. So I'm recording this before the Patriots and Chargers game. If the Patriots win, the Bills go to Denver. That's it. If the Chargers win, then the Bills are going to go to the winner of Steelers and Texans, which is played on Monday night. What's next for this podcast is the All-22 review. And then we'll start getting ready for whatever divisional round matchup the Bills end up having, whether that's Denver, Pittsburgh, or Houston. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Going to get this voice rested up and get ready for a big week. And I'm sure I'll feel fine in the morning. So thanks for being here. enjoy this Victory Monday. That was such a satisfying win. I know that they're all satisfying. The Bills have won a playoff game each of the last 6 years. This one felt really good. Just based on the conversations this week, the confidence that was brimming from Jaguars people. Well, they got to eat a big old slice of humble pie. Got to pay your dues in the NFL. I think a hard lesson was learned. Now, look, humility's only 1 week away. So we're riding high. But we're on to the next one. And survive in advance. We'll see what happens. We'll see who they play. We'll be talking about it every step of the way here on Locked On Bills. So don't miss anything. Make sure that you're subscribed. Would love it if you took a second to rate, review, and share the podcast. Have a great rest of your day. Go Bills! And I look forward to catching up with you again real soon.